I'd like to be able to do it, but we haven't been able to. I'm not sure how it's being worked out.
Reports have been flying around about Kevin Costner leaving Yellowstone during its 5th season because of some disagreements about the show's direction and how much he should be paid.
I'm going to end it if it doesn't end.
But now, it seems like Costner might be begging to come back, even if it's just for a short appearance. See, Matthew Baloney of Puck News reported that Costner is thinking about returning as John Dutton III in the second part of Season 5. But there's a catch. The scripts for the rest of Season 5 are already finished, and they're planning to start filming the last episodes this coming... Oops! Not too fast, cowboy. We're going to talk about that later in this video. Anyways, it's not sure if Costner can come back. However, the biggest question here is whether Taylor Sheridan would change the story to let Costner's character have one last moment on the show. Because lately, we witnessed a war between Costner and the Yellowstone production. During Season 5, there were stories about disagreements and problems on the set where Costner didn't like what his character was becoming season after season. And Costner also had some issues with the show's schedule and even talked about suing over how much he should be paid, because he was supposed to get $12 million for the second part of Season 5, just like he did for the first part. But then it came out that he wouldn't be in the last part of the season. And of course, the whole situation has caught a lot of attention, especially from us, the fans, who love Yellowstone and Costner's role in it. Now, everyone's waiting to see if Costner will make a surprise return or if his time on the show has really come to an end. That's why in this video, we're going to talk about if he's going to make a comeback, what will happen if he did come back, what would the story be, and also we're going to tackle the John Dutton's prequel, and I promise that you don't want to miss it. Keep watching. Kevin Costner reportedly considering Yellowstone U-turn, wants Season 5 return. Costner's comeback could damage the Yellowstone franchise. Here's why. John Dutton is pretty much the heart of Yellowstone, managing the Dutton Ranch and keeping the family together. So when news hit that Costner might be in the last part of Season 5, fans were all asking the same question. What's Yellowstone without Kevin Costner? Well, here's the thing. Just because Costner wasn't going to be there didn't mean the show was doomed. In fact, Sheridan went ahead and prepared the finale script without Costner's character in mind, believing that the show can stand on its own. Yet, if Sheridan decides to bring Costner back, it's a big deal. It's like saying the show can't hit the mark without him. All the hard work and new directions Sheridan took without Costner could be seen as pointless. It's as if Sheridan is admitting that the Yellowstone he imagined without Costner just isn't good enough. Furthermore, bringing Costner back after all the speculation and drama would show just how crucial he is to Yellowstone. It would mean that despite everything, Costner's role is so vital that the show feels incomplete without him. Yellowstone is more than John Dutton. Some people, or should I say, a lot of people, think the show can't go on without Costner. But is that true? See, John Dutton may have been the main cowboy when the show started. However, Yellowstone isn't just a one-man show. It's full of characters that have won our hearts and can carry the story forward, right? Think about Beth and Rip, two characters that fans absolutely love. See, if John Dutton steps aside, this could be their chance to shine even more and show what they're truly capable of. Plus, it opens up space for other characters like those from the Broken Rock Reservation. And I know, losing John Dutton from the storyline is a big move for Yellowstone. And yeah, sure, it's a tough challenge, but it also shows the strength of the show beyond just one character. Kevin Costner might have been a big reason why people started watching Yellowstone in the first place, but the gripping story and the rest of the cast are why they stayed. Furthermore, taking John Dutton out of the equation allowed Yellowstone to prove its worth, showing that it's not just about one person. If he comes back, it might make us wonder if the show really can stand on its own, isn't it? Also, if Taylor Sheridan decides to bring Kevin Costner back to Yellowstone, it's going to raise some eyebrows. Not just about the main show, but also about all the spin-offs and future series. I know having famous actors on a TV show is freaking cool, but if people are only watching because of those big names, that's a completely different story, right? So, if Costner comes back, like I said earlier, it might seem like Sheridan is saying that's the case with Yellowstone, that the show's success depends too much on its stars. And as you can see, Sheridan is walking a tightrope here. Kevin Costner is a big deal, and his character is a huge part of Yellowstone. But if Sheridan has figured out a way to wrap up the show without him, he should stick to that plan. Going back on it could make it look like he's not confident in Yellowstone and its ability to captivate audiences on its own. Yellowstone Season 5 Part 2 gets encouraging filming update. First off, Ian Bohen, known for playing the role of ranch hand Ryan, recently spilled some details about when the show's filming is set to pick back up. Chatting with Entertainment Tonight, he shared the buzz that they're looking at May for kicking off the shoot for the second half of Season 5. So this means fans could see new episodes as soon as November, maybe December. And there's even talk about wrapping up the season around the Super Bowl. And not only that, he also said that Yellowstone Season 5 Part 2 will be worth the wait. See, without diving into the Kevin Costner situation, Bowen highlighted that the real essence of Yellowstone lies in its storytelling and the deep connections among the cast. He said, "People come and go. There are all kinds of stories that you may read about and hear, but the story of what this show is about is the most important. We're all components, and we all become madly in love with each other as actors and as people. So we'll finish that out in this beautiful glide to land. It'll be great. So we just want to take advantage of the time more than anything." Also, Bowen assures fans that Taylor Sheridan is going to be delivering to the audience, so it'll be worth the wait. We thank everybody for waiting. Can Yellowstone Season 5 still give John Dutton a good ending? Yellowstone's biggest challenge is figuring out how to say goodbye to John Dutton in a way that feels right. The key here is making sure his exit from the show makes sense and isn't just him vanishing without explanation. And since John Dutton has been dealing with cancer, one straightforward path could be letting this battle with illness be his end. Another possibility is having John Dutton leave the ranch behind on purpose to save it. This makes sense because the ranch is a symbol of his life's work and his deepest commitment, even more than his own well-being. And by choosing to leave for the sake of the ranch, his exit would be meaningful and honor the character's values. Best way to make up for Kevin Costner's Yellowstone exit. See, according to Puck News, Taylor Sheridan is super happy with how he currently wraps up the show without Costner. While Sheridan's confidence is concluding, Yellowstone without its leading man is reassuring. The absence of John Dutton will undoubtedly leave a void. The character, played by Costner, has been pivotal in the series. That's why a potential prequel focusing on John Dutton's earlier life could be the perfect answer. And Josh Lucas, known for his role as the younger John Dutton, mentioned, "I also think it's a world that I would absolutely love to explore further." This made us think that we could have Dutton's backstory, perhaps even introducing a younger actor to portray an earlier version of John Dutton. As we know, John Dutton from Yellowstone is a character that grabs everyone's attention. When you first meet him, you see a rich cowboy with a huge piece of land and think, wow, that's a lot. Plus, he's not always the warmest dad. But as you watch the series, you learn that he follows a strong set of rules. The beautiful ranch and wild nature of Montana he's trying to protect start to make a lot of sense. Why wouldn't someone fight to keep such a place safe from big companies and city expansion? There's talk about a prequel that could dive even deeper into his story. And don't get me even started. John Dutton feels like a character with an infinite wealth of stories to tell, and 5 Yellowstone seasons aren't enough to cover them. See, John's life has been all about standing up for his land. And because of that, there's so many untold stories from his past, like adventures with his dad, a love story with his wife filled with ups and downs, or clashes with politicians and businessmen wanting a piece of his ranch.
I have children.
So do I. From what I've seen, yours will be better off without you.
John Dutton's life is full of tales waiting to be told, and the 5 seasons we've seen just scratch the surface. A prequel could be the perfect chance to explore more of his fascinating journey. But if John Dutton's life is fascinating, Kevin Costner's divorce was a nightmare. If you want to know more about Costner's wife dating their neighbor, click this video right here.